A spherical black monolith rises up from a white surface, white like the moon. In the darkness, the tower's metal skin is barely visible. It rotates, revealing itself to actually be a lamp, not rising up from a surface, but hanging down from a white ceiling, the bulb unlit. Directly below the lamp is the very definition of innocence, a sleeping child, chest rising and falling with each breath, hovering over the young boy, watching him. A blanket embellished with dinosaurs is draped across his limbs. His mouth is slack, eyelids twitching to dreams unseen. The truly deep sleep that an adult can only wish for. We move away from him, exploring the dark room strewn with toys. The door is slightly ajar. We float through it into a long hallway, even darker than the bedroom, and without the boy's rhythmic breathing, even quieter. A window at the end of the hall enlarges as we approach. Someone is standing in front of it. The murky silhouette of the figure turns and walks away. We follow it, tentative. Turning a corner, we see the figure standing in a doorway. We can now make out the edges of a person, an old woman, hair in a Victorian bun, a corseted dress. She stares at us. Let us in. Eyes flick open. A woman blinks awake, gazing around the room. Another bedroom. Sparse. Just a bed and a cabinet. It is 5:43 a.m. Her eyes settle on the man laying next to her in the dark. His heaving snores have woken her. With quiet determination, she's holding on to her youthful good looks, but the lines of age are creeping in. She has settled into the comfort years of her marriage, hair pinned up messily, wearing dowdy pajamas. She beholds her husband taking him in, considering him. He snorts and smacks his lips, very unflattering. She climbs out of bed. High ceilings, exposed beams, Spanish-styled windows. She treads across wooden floorboards into a sunken living room. No matter how careful she is, there's a loud creak with each step. A grandfather clock in the corner ticks steadily. There's barely any furniture in here, only a bookcase and a piano. What there is a lot of is boxes, large moving boxes. Renee plops cross-legged onto the floor and rips open one of the boxes marked books. She plucks out a handful of books and lines them up on the bookshelf, then another handful. She spots a sealed box labeled photo albums. She strips away the tape and wrestles out a dusty album of wedding photos. Smiling faces greet her as she thumbs through the pages. The happy couple, young, glowing. A sadness washes over her. Mom? The young boy, Dalton, wanders the hall sporting a red superhero cape, carrying a plastic glowing lightsaber toy. He reaches a door, the basement door. He pulls it open. Dalton holds up his lightsaber, the glow allowing him to make out the murky corners of the basement below. He takes a step down the stairs, then another step. The broken step is right below him. He steps again and falls, flailing forward, tumbling down the steps all the way to the bottom. His lightsaber shatters. He hits the ground, his head smacking the floor. All is dark, pitch black. Dazed, Dalton sits up. His head is cut and bleeding. He is alone in the dark. He stares into the corner of the surrounding cell. His eyes adjust, making out a shape, a shadow. Josh and Renee look up as the quiet is shattered by a scream. They spring into action, scrambling to their feet. "Dalton, where are you?" The only reply heard, a scream in the distance. Renee and Josh whip the door open, glaring into the basement from the top of the steps. "Dalton?" Dalton is crumbled at the bottom of the steps, sobbing, his red cape gathered around him. "Dalton, you have to be careful. You shouldn't be coming down here in the dark." Josh lifts him to his feet. A severely grazed knee is dotted with blood, but he's okay. Renee glances around the basement, her eyes landing on the one object that resides in it. She frowns. It wasn't there when she saw the basement last. It's a box. One of her large, cupboard-moving boxes. It's marked lamps.